Thank you for having me. You guys are extremely intelligent and well versed in your fields. I enjoyed listening to your presentations. Um, I Anthony Lee, yours kind of inspired me to kind of redirect what I thought I wanted to talk about. Again, I'm a production designer. I recently got to work on a film in India. I was flown over to India to work on a very high budget film. It grossed in the millions. I mean, it cost millions of dollars to film it. They filmed it in New Zealand, and it was inspired by one of their religious um, deities and one of their most renowned figures in their culture. And I learned a lot about it. I had a great time over there as an American, learning about their temples, how they worship, and it inspired me to kind of have a different outlook on life when I came back to America and how to move forward. Even though at that time I was at an all-time high, so I had started at 20 years ago in this field, just using my art skills. And when I came back to America after wrapping production, I started thinking about how I got to that point, which was just last week. The film was released in theaters worldwide, so I got to go see this movie on the big screen just recently, and it started me to reflect on what got me there. And during your presentation, I started thinking about the my focus and my mindset over the past 20 years. I got to meet Ray Bradbury, who's considered one of the fathers of science fiction writing. And one thing he said to me when I got to meet him was, "Love what you do and do what you love, and you will never work a day in your life." And I used that mantra and that mindset for many of the projects I would be involved with. As long as I knew I was loving it, I started having the mindset that I wasn't actually working. Like the pay would come and go, some were high, some were low, but as long as the projects were something I was passionate about, I understood what he meant. If you're loving it, it doesn't feel like work. And the other one was at some point, someone wiser than me said the term forged in fire. And what we what we put into the fire, what comes out is pure and strong. Only the purest thing comes out, and only the strongest metal survives. And that started me thinking about the first time I was ever challenged as far as my creativity. I used to build these costumes and wear them in Hollywood and test them out on Hollywood Boulevard and see what people thought of the things I built. And I was getting a lot of praise for one of my costumes. It was a Transformer. It was Optimus Prime. It was like 10 feet tall. And I would walk around in this thing. This was like 20 something years ago when I was much younger. And people really liked it, except one guy came up to me and he was very rude and he was disturbed and he was unapologetically profane to me about what I was wearing. And I went home that day and I thought to myself, despite all the people that were giving me praise about what I had created, I wanted that person, that one guy, to like what I built. So I took that suit apart and I built 10 more versions of that suit over the course of 6 months. And then that one decision of not letting that guy defeat me and going into the crucible, I call it, my workshop, and coming out with not one but 10 more versions of that suit over 10 months cost me a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. It was the catalyst that got me to another project and then got me to another project, and all these projects were also founded in the earlier mindset of loving what I do. And I most recently last weekend got to see someone else who you guys might know. Keanu Reeves was at a event that I was at, and our garage was right next to his. So I'm going to close with this story, and hopefully this will inspire you guys when you go forward in what you're doing. So our garage, it was a motorcycle race. It was Laguna Seca, and it's a 3-day event, and they qualify on a Friday. They get to race on a Saturday and a Sunday. Well, Keanu Reeves's team was in the garage next to us. So we get to talk to them all weekend. about their race and their experience. Our driver, his driver, and we're in the pit and all that, having these conversations. They had yet to win a race, or no, I'm sorry, they had yet to finish a race. So they finally get to a point where they finished a race. And my point with this story is the setting goals for attainable goals for yourself. So that was their first goal they had tried to set, just to finish a race. After that, their next goal was let's get to the top 10, which by the time the weekend was over, they were finishing in the top 10. Now, their next goal going into the next events, they have three more races for the rest of the year. They want to get into the top five. And then hopefully by the last race, they want to get into the top three. And I was very inspired by someone we would think that Keanu and his team would have like lavish things. They would have a hotel or what. They were using the same porta potties we were. They were working just as hard as most of our pit crew people were. And it was very encouraging and inspiring to see these people and their failures looking at those as wins. And so I hope what I've said in closing, I hope it inspired you, and I hope what I shared uh, lets you know that it may not happen this year, and maybe 20 years from now, you're having this successful story. I mean, look how old Keanu Reeves is, and I'm not too far behind from him, and he's just now living like his dream out on the racetrack right now. So again, love what you do what you love, and you'll never work a day in your life. Thank you.